Well, hey parents, thank you for joining us for our online parenting seminar this month. I hope that these videos have been helpful and encouraging to you as we are trying to parent together the people in our house. And so this month, we're gonna be talking specifically about you and how your soul is doing and how you're taking care of your soul, because you cannot take good care of the souls of your kids if you're not taking good care of your own soul. And let's face it, I get it. Parenting is tough, all right? No one said it'll be easy. No one said it's gonna be like, lollipops and candy. It's gonna be tough. And specifically during COVID-19, it's even tougher. We get it, it's hard. And sometimes we can be in a place where we just feel really lonely and we feel really depressed and stressed and worried and anxiety and fear. And I want to tell you that is okay. It's okay to be in that place, but it's not okay to stay in that place. And so let me just kind of share some things with you as a parent to a parent. And now I'm not in your shoes. I don't have teenagers living in my house, but I do have toddlers, and I have toddlers staying at home for 24/7, and it's very, very brutal, okay? And so I don't have experience with teenagers living in my house, but if you're anything like me, anything like experiencing in my house, it's tough and it's hard. You have different schedules you're trying to compile. You have trying to keep enough food in your pantry for your teenage boy, and you're trying to teach your kid how to drive and take them to the doctor, take them to the dentist, take them to not school, but take them to practice, et cetera, and the list goes on, and it just feels very, very overwhelming. And so I just wanted to encourage you today with Scripture. In fact, Scripture talks a lot about weariness and overwhelming and tiredness and what we can do about it. And there are people in the Old Testament and the New Testament who admit that they are tired and they admit that they are overwhelmed, and they cry out to God as their response. Let me read for you Psalm 63 verse 1. It says, this is David writing. David's a king. God, you are my God. I eagerly seek you. I thirst for you. My body or soul faints for you in a land that is dry, desolate, and without water. Sometimes as parents, that describes our lives, right? Dry and without water, and we're overwhelmed and we're tired and we're exhausted, and the kids keep wanting more and more and more, and we feel like we have nothing else to give. And that David is in this place right now. He is crying out to God, God, give me energy, give me strength to not only be king of Israel, but to be a good dad to my kids. So he's crying out to God. So I want to give you a few tips to help you care for your own soul. The first one is this: stop trying to be the perfect parent. Let's face it, no one is perfect, okay? You're not perfect, I'm not perfect, no one is perfect, okay? David wasn't perfect. And stop trying to compare yourself to other parents. Have you noticed that you are not the parent of someone else's kid? You are the parent of your kid, and God has designed you and has given you the children that He has given you because He has created you to be their parents. And that is a very great place to be. And so we need to stop comparing ourselves to other people. We need to stop trying to be perfect parents and just be the parent that God has called you to be to the student that He's called you to be the parent of. So that's the first one. The second one is this: make time away from your kids, all right? Get away from your kids. Get away with your spouse if you are married. So make time each week or each month where you say, all right, on this day and from this time, we are away from them and we are together. We're gonna go out to eat, we're gonna talk, we're gonna go to a movie, we're gonna play putt-putt, we're gonna do something fun together so that we can refresh our souls to get back in the game on parenting our kids. Now, if you're not married, then you need to have some friends in your life where you can get away from your kids and spend some time with some people who love you and care for you, and you can have fun together, you can eat together. So make sure that you are spending a time away from your kids, either with a spouse or with a friend. That's number two. Number three is we need to find ways to grow spiritually, because let's face it, our kids are not going to grow spiritually if we ourselves are not growing spiritually. So we as parents, we need to find ways to grow. So we can read our Bibles, get the Bible app and go through a plan with your spouse or with a friend. We can pray. Prayer is a good thing. We can share the gospel. We can read Christian books. We can do a Bible study. There are so many ways to grow spiritually. So don't let this season of COVID-19 stop you from growing spiritually, because your kids are depending on you to grow spiritually so that they can grow spiritually. That's number 3. Find some space for spiritual growth in your walk. And then number 4, the last one is this: is you need to find a mentor or some type of counselor while you are parenting. And yes, it's hard. It's hard for me as a dad to admit that I need help to someone else. I need people in my life that I can look up to and say, hey, your kids aren't the same age as my kids, and they're a little bit older. How did you deal with this? And I have some people in my life I can do that with, and that's really good, and it's helpful, and it's encouraging to say, hey, Mr. So-and-so, my kid keeps doing this, and I don't know what to do. Like, help me, and they'll help you. Or maybe you need to find a professional counselor, someone who has a degree in counseling that you can walk through. And therapy is okay. As I said earlier, it's okay to be in a place where you feel dry and you feel overwhelmed, but it's not okay to stay in that place. So we need to get help that we need. So the 4 things: number 1 is we need to stop trying to be the perfect parent, or stop trying to compare ourselves to other parents. Number 2, we need to make time away from your kids, either with a spouse or with a friend. Number 3, you need to find ways to grow spiritually. And number 4 is to find a mentor or a counselor. And the last thing that I want to kind of share with you is this: is the amount of grace that you show your kids on a daily basis. Show it to yourself. Give yourself grace. We're gonna mess up. We're gonna say the wrong thing. We're gonna lose it. We're gonna slam a door. We're gonna say something that we shouldn't. Show yourself grace. Show yourself love. Now let's remember, this stage is temporary. Okay, it's temporary. It's short. So make sure that you are taking care of yourself so you can be able to give your best to your kids. Thank you for joining us for this seminar, and we will talk to you soon.